Alright, let's talk about America, the land of opportunity, or at least that's what they tell you at the Disney World Hall of Presidents. Because the truth is, some states are looking less like the land of opportunity, and more like the land of oh god, that's where my last paycheck went. We're talking about a full-blown crisis here, folks. Poverty and homelessness are skyrocketing, and not just in the places you might expect. We're diving deep into the states facing the worst of this crisis, the policies that got us here, and what, if anything, can be done to fix it. And in America, a problem in one state has a funny way of becoming everyone's problem eventually. So strap in, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. First up, let's head west to California, a state that practically invented the American dream. Known for its stunning landscapes, diverse culture, and economic opportunities, California has long been a beacon of hope and prosperity for many. Sunshine, beaches, Hollywood, and a whole lot of people who can't afford to live there anymore. The stark contrast between the glitz and glamour and the growing homeless encampments is a troubling sign of deeper issues. See, California was once this economic powerhouse, fueled by tech booms and innovation. Silicon Valley became synonymous with cutting-edge technology and astronomical success, attracting talent from all over the world. But lately it's been hit with a one-two punch of economic decline and job losses that would make a boxer see stars. The once thriving industrial areas now stand as ghost towns, a shadow of their former selves. The tech sector, once the golden goose of California's economy, is laying some seriously questionable eggs these days. Companies that once seemed invincible are now facing unprecedented challenges. Mass layoffs, shrinking investments, and a general sense that the tech bubble might be about to burst have left a lot of highly skilled workers out of a job. The ripple effects are being felt across the state, impacting not just the tech industry but the broader economy as well. Manufacturing, once a source of stable middle-class jobs, has been packing its bags and heading for states with lower costs. This migration has left many workers in a lurch, struggling to find new employment opportunities. This mass exodus of jobs has left a gaping hole in the state's economy. The bustling downtown areas are now eerily quiet, a testament to the economic challenges that California is grappling with. The weather is lovely, the avocado toast is plentiful, but the reality is, many of the people moving to California are coming from even more dire situations. They arrive with hopes and dreams, only to find that the cost of living is sky high and opportunities are dwindling. They're escaping worse economic conditions elsewhere, hoping for a chance, any chance, to make it in the Golden State. The influx of new residents adds another layer of complexity to an already strained housing market. When the American dream starts to crumble in California, the tremors are felt from sea to shining sea. The state's struggles serve as a cautionary tale for the rest of the country, highlighting the need for sustainable economic policies and support systems. Now let's trade the sunshine of California for the often gray skies of New York City. The city that never sleeps, where dreams are made, and where the hustle never stops. The city that never sleeps, probably because it's too busy working 3 jobs to afford rent. Here the grind is relentless, and the cost of living is sky high. For years, New York City has been synonymous with ambition, opportunity, and, of course, ridiculously expensive apartments the size of a walk-in closet. The allure of the Big Apple draws people from all over the world, but the reality of living here can be harsh. But lately, the rent has reached a whole new level of absurdity. Protests are becoming more frequent, as residents struggle to keep up with the ever-increasing costs. New York thrives on its hustle. The energy of the city is palpable, with people always on the move chasing their dreams. But when the cost of rent eats up practically every penny you earn, that famous New York hustle starts to feel a lot like running on a treadmill. The financial strain is taking a toll on the mental and physical health of many New Yorkers. Trying to find an affordable apartment in New York City is like trying to find a decent bagel in London, theoretically possible, but mostly just an exercise in frustration. The competition is fierce, and the options are limited. This housing crisis is pushing out the very people who make New York so vibrant. Artists, musicians, and other creatives are finding it increasingly difficult to stay in the city they love. Teachers, firefighters, nurses, the backbone of the city, are being forced to choose between paying rent and, well, everything else. These essential workers are the ones who keep the city running, yet they are struggling to make ends meet. Building more affordable housing is crucial, but it's not a quick fix. The process is slow, and the demand far outstrips the supply. Innovative solutions and policy changes are needed to address this growing problem. If New York wants to remain the city that never sleeps, it needs to figure out a way to make sure its residents can afford to actually live there. Community involvement and government action are essential to finding a sustainable solution to this housing crisis. Next up, we're heading to the Midwest, to the state of Illinois, a place that's often overlooked. Illinois, once a bustling hub of industry and agriculture, is now a cautionary tale of policy failures and economic stagnation. One of the biggest culprits, a pension crisis of epic proportions. For years, Illinois kicked the can down the road when it came to funding its public pensions. They promised generous benefits to state employees without setting aside enough money to actually pay for them. This fiscal irresponsibility has left the state with a mountain of debt and a shrinking tax base. Businesses and residents are fleeing to states with lower taxes and less financial uncertainty, leaving Illinois in a downward spiral. Illinois has also struggled with corruption, political gridlock, and a lack of investment in education and infrastructure. The situation in Illinois is a stark reminder that even in a country as wealthy as the United States, bad policies can have devastating consequences. It's a wake-up call that we need to hold our elected officials accountable and demand better for our communities. Now let's head south to Florida, a state best known for its sunshine beaches and its uncanny ability to produce headlines that sound like they were ripped straight from a novel. But beneath the veneer of sunny optimism, Florida is grappling with a dark reality, a growing crisis of homelessness and poverty. Florida has long been a magnet for retirees seeking warmer weather and lower taxes, but it's also become a destination for people priced out of other states, hoping to find affordable living and a fresh start. The problem? Florida's low-wage economy and lack of affordable housing options have created a perfect storm for economic hardship. The state's tourism-driven economy, while providing jobs, often traps workers in low-paying, seasonal positions with little opportunity for advancement. Adding to the struggle, Florida has one of the worst affordable housing crises in the country. The demand for affordable housing far outstrips the supply, leaving many families struggling to keep a roof over their heads. This dire situation has forced many Floridians into homelessness. Families are living in cars, veterans are sleeping on the streets, and the problem is only getting worse. Florida's story highlights the urgent need for comprehensive solutions to address poverty and homelessness. Finally, let's make our way to Texas, a state that likes to do things big hats, big stakes, and big ambitions. Texas is often celebrated for its larger-than-life culture and its reputation for independence and self-reliance. But unfortunately, it also faces big problems when it comes to poverty. Despite its wealth and resources, Texas struggles with significant economic disparities. Texas likes to pride itself on its booming economy and business-friendly environment. The state is home to some of the largest corporations and a thriving tech industry. But behind the facade of Texan prosperity lies a harsh reality for millions of its residents. Many Texans are living in poverty, struggling to make ends meet. Texas has a bit of a contradiction problem. On one hand, it boasts some of the wealthiest individuals and companies in the country. It boasts one of the fastest-growing economies in the nation, yet it also has one of the highest poverty rates. This stark contrast is a growing concern for policymakers and citizens alike. One of the main culprits? Texas's low-tax, low-service approach to governance. This model has led to underfunded public services and a lack of support for those in need. While it may sound appealing on paper, it's resulted in a state government that often prioritizes tax cuts for corporations and the wealthy over investments in essential services like education, healthcare, and social safety nets. This has left many vulnerable populations without the support they need. This lack of investment has real consequences. Homelessness is on the rise and food insecurity affects countless families. Texas ranks near the bottom in access to healthcare, with millions lacking affordable options. Many Texans are forced to forego necessary medical treatments due to high costs. Its public education system is chronically underfunded, leaving many students ill-equipped for the demands of the 21st century workforce. But there's hope. Community leaders and activists are working tirelessly to address these issues. Texas also has a long history of innovation and problem-solving. The state's tech startups and innovation hubs are creating new opportunities and driving economic growth. Texans are proving that even in a state known for its go-it-alone mentality, collective action and smart policies can make a real difference. By coming together and advocating for change, they are working to build a more equitable and prosperous future for all. So there you have it, a glimpse into the harsh reality facing millions of Americans in some of the wealthiest states in the nation. We've seen how economic decline, policy failures, and a lack of affordable housing are pushing people to the brink. But this isn't just a story about despair, it's also a story about resilience, about the countless individuals, organizations, and communities fighting back against these systemic challenges. The fight for the American dream is far from over. It requires us to confront uncomfortable truths, challenge the status quo, and demand better from our elected officials. So let's keep talking, keep listening, and most importantly, keep fighting for a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, not just survive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more in-depth reports on the issues that matter most.